All right. Yes. This is Taran's Very Good Podcast, episode 2. Coming at you hot with Robin Pike, Anton Leonardo, and Dylan Dylan how do you pronounce your last name?
Dauphinee.
Dylan Dauphinee. So yeah, this is everybody. Dylan is a good old military boy. He's in the Canadian military, reserve forces, correct? And we met because he joined our roofing crew a couple months back. And so I think he's a real shitty guy and figured I'd bring him on here and humiliate him on the internet. No, not at all. But yeah, so we all had a pretty interesting night last night.
Oh, I'm regretting.
Yeah. All of us, minus Anton, are kind of nursing some party wounds. So there may be some lazy drawl to our voices. But so I guess first thing that I think we need to talk about is corkscrew duck penises. For anyone that isn't aware, ducks have corkscrew penises. There's literally a corkscrew shaped and comes shooting out of their cloacal sacs, and it's just the most bizarre, crazy looking thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I wonder where this came into play, at what time in this species' lifeline did they grow a shooting penis?
That falls off.
Or was it always like that?
The fact that it falls off was news to me. That's insane. They grow just they grow a whole new thing every year.
Yeah, once a year, during mating season, they grow this thing, and then it falls off afterward.
They put all their eggs in their own basket.
Yeah, and then they just gotta wait a year and grow a new one when the time comes.
Yeah, I wonder what that is like. Every year, it's yes, finally.
Yeah, they're just waiting. Oh my god.
I got it back.
Unleash the spring.
Unleash the spring. And it looks like it comes shooting out violently. It looks like some weird tendrily vine thing just shooting out and it's just gonna.
Or maybe that's a sign for the male to know. It's it's time for me to start fucking again. I got it back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's as good a sign as any.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, things are getting pretty close between Rebecca and I. I think I'm ready to go all the way. It's dude, are you sure? How do you know you're ready? Well, my penis grew back. That's a pretty good sign. I think you should do it, bro.
And what killed me too was that it grows back depending, it I don't know if it intuitively knows somehow, if its nervous system autonomously knows, or if it actually has to go check out the other male ducks. But it said it tries to see what the other guys are saying, and then match it, or maybe try to exceed it a little bit. Let's see if I can grow a bigger one this year. It's just so strange.
I wonder if it's something that can be forced. If you just
Well, I think that's what those scientists
give it a
were
little
doing
estrogen, and maybe he'll grow a big old penis.
Yeah, maybe just I don't know. Maybe the women start giving off certain pheromones, and triggers his body to start, back to the drawing board, kind of design a new dick, put it into production right away, so that he can start reproduction. Apparently, other birds don't have penises because of a certain kind of protein that makes it what would be a penis in development just not happen. It's just the anti-penis protein.
So what is the reproduction? How is that?
I don't know.
I think it's kind of like a hole-to-hole kind of thing.
Hole-to-hole?
Yeah.
What are we looking up here?
I don't know. Let's look up how.
I guess just say typical bird
reproduction.
Yeah.
This is definitely.
I guess if you kind of think of like fish, like a woman lays an egg and then the guy just kind of comes along and just like sprays on it.
Spray stuff on it.
Sprays it, yeah. Well, that's what's weird. So, like, the woman and the female duck gets.
So I wasn't too far off. Basically, internal fertilization. So.
Sure. Yeah, because I thought
the guy kind of puts his cloaca more or less in her cloaca, which is crazy to think about because that's.
And isn't that the same hole that they do their crazy shitty piss shit out of?
Yeah, it's the all-in-one.
There's an ashtray right there.
It's the all-in-one.
Yeah.
I didn't even. That's news to me. I didn't know.
Yeah. Well, there you have it, folks. Crazy shooting.
Was it you saying the other day? It's just like dinosaurs are essentially birds, and like kind of imagine a raptor like a chicken, just like
yeah,
like
moving like that.
Yeah, just so poking its head on the ground and everything.
Yeah.
Just so imagine like a 6 foot tall or however tall they were.
Have you ever seen an emu?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I lived on a farm when I was younger. We had emus, and they actually got loose one time. They were like running through the woods and shit. Fucking just like doing their own thing, doing animal things.
That's fucking horrifying. Those giant birds
But
just running around.
Man, my brother fucking
fuck?
was walking down the street, and it's like my next door neighbor is like a kilometer away, like in the country, in the bush, straight up bush, like. And my brother was walking home, and he came face to face with one of these things, and right when they got loose, and I was thinking like this thing is literally like a raptor nowadays, like I think would fuck him up. But he said that like this thing like tripped out and ran away as soon as they came face to face. But yeah, I was thinking like, holy shit, this is like a living raptor. This thing. After they like gathered them back up and they put them back in their cages or whatever, like I was just looking at them and they're like their claws and just like how they act too, like they're so weird.
They definitely seem really reptilian, you know. Like,
yeah, definitely. And just like how I don't know.
One of the weird things about velociraptors or whatever, I find is like, I guess it's not totally uncommon. Yeah, never mind. I guess it's not that weird. But just, I'm thinking, what my point was going to be was how they would hunt in packs, and I just kind of always associated that kind of family, living situation and bond as a more mammalian thing.
Right. And
I feel like the bonds probably are, like, I don't know what kind of emotional experiences a reptile has compared to a mammal, but then, I kind of countered my own argument because there's areas where there's just like huge groups of iguanas or crocodiles all hanging out in the same area. But I don't know if it's like
it's different. I think
I think it has to be different. It's like some kind of it's like more. I don't know. I'm just fucking sheerly speculating, but it seems like it's more just a random group of individuals who just happen to be living there, but they don't have like that kind of camaraderie with each other.
They're aware and maybe emotional enough, if you wanted to even call it that they know that like they're better off with more than one of them or whatever, especially where they're like cold blooded. So they just got if they just stack on top of each other in the sun, like they're set.
Yeah, actually, I was Komodo dragons. I was watching this thing and it was how they take out like a big buffalo or something like that, and they're kind of poisonous. Their mouth, like when they bite you, it's infection, like, straight up infection right away. But just one bite from a Komodo dragon to this buffalo I was watching, they followed it in a huge group of Komodo dragons. Followed this buffalo for like weeks until it just died.
Died of the poison.
And just the one the one Komodo dragon can't eat the whole fucking buffalo, obviously. So yeah, it's like it's a thing. It's like they're working together, like to eat it, I guess.
Oh, that's fucking prehistoric emu of some kind. It's like double the height of a human being silhouetted next to it, and that's definitely as horrifying as any dinosaur, I think.
That would literally be terrifying.
Imagine if there was a pack of them, too.
Oh, yeah.
And I think it's like, I remember hearing that it was up for debate that you could potentially make a case that, there's some loose evidence suggesting Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Had feathers or something.
Well, that for sure, but that
I've
they
heard
lived
that,
in
yeah.
family groups too.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a pack of T-Rexes running you down? Jesus.
Yeah, just being able to actually like kind of communicate and fucking decipher an actual like attack plan.
That'd be
Like, alright,
horrifying.
you're gonna flank this way. I'm gonna come this way. This guy's gonna go this way. Type deal, like.
That's one thing
Yeah,
I find really
fuck,
interesting
dude.
too. Is just how because packs of wolves will definitely
Exactly, yeah.
flank out animals, and chimpanzees have pretty elaborate like ambush strategies and stuff they'll use against other troops or monkeys. And,
Yeah.
and I find it crazy because it's like pretty basic, battlefield tactics
Yeah.
that the animals are just aware of, and just one of those.
I was
parallels,
actually,
guess,
I was
between us
also
and them.
just watching this thing earlier today. Actually, it's about if we evolved from monkeys, why is there still monkeys? That was the question. And
Well, then why are there still single-celled organisms?
That's basically it.
true enough. But what they got to is chimpanzees and I forget the other monkey. It's Bomo or
Bonobo.
Bonobo,
but no, yeah, those things. Those are actually not our ancestors, and they're our fucking cousins.
Well, yeah.
And we evolved like kind of split 3 different ways. Like,
Yeah, basically the way I've always thought about it is that like the differentiation between species is like okay that like it's all like a weird interconnected tree kind of thing once you go far enough, but like basically however different the living thing is to you is how far away the ancestor we did share started to behave or do something differently.
yeah, exactly. And
So
if
like
you-
basically like there was a handful of chimps that stayed in the trees, so that's their offspring were the chimps that stayed in trees, and then maybe the offspring of the chimps that like didn't necessarily always stay in the trees, like
I always kind of thought of it as like essentially the Ice Age had a big play to do with it, but I kind of thought of it as whereas these our ancestors, you had like maybe a pack of them who moved further north,
yeah,
and they had to deal with all this climate change and all those types of things, so they had to adapt. Rather, as the group or the pack who stayed, they were okay. They were living life. They had all the food they needed, all the water they needed. They didn't need to evolve.
Yeah.
Whereas the
necessity
guys who
wasn't-
are like, pushing forward and like making it up north or like different, just like traveling type thing.
starting to like grab things and chase the things they wanted to try to eat, kind of thing.
Yeah,
Well,
like,
sure. Every tiny it would be impossible to actually paint the complete picture ever of the history of
so
anything,
strange.
let alone evolution. It's like just even the slightest little variances, you never know. Like, and it's more than just the environment. It's like the social environment too shapes the evolution, and sexual selection and all those things play factors, and on which traits are best suited to survive and reproduce, and which ones do that better. And it's just it's crazy. It's just crazy to think about. But I mean, it explains just the sheer variety of even like cats or how dogs are just all over the world too, and a hoofed mammal with some kind of antler. It's just all over the world. So it's I just find it it's crazy how specified the different animals can be, and they can survive in incredibly extreme or specific climates.
Yeah, it's very humbling. I don't know who said it, but they were like, in his opinion, evolution was the proof that there was a God, kind of thing. People are always like, no, they're just trying to like discount the fact that like there's any idea to it. But his point was like, are you sure? Like, look at how crazy this shit is. Like,
yeah, it doesn't actually explain anything.
It doesn't
really.
explain. Yeah,
it just makes things even fucking crazier.
Yeah.
Seems like everything science is stumbling upon, just the kinds of crazy advanced astrophysics that I don't. It's so beyond my understanding. And
I really gotta look back into seeing if they've found anything further from their. I don't even know who it was or like. But basically, the consensus among a small corner of the scientific community was just saying like, "Oh shit, we think now that maybe your brainwaves can affect your DNA, and it can like